So they're kind of like Stim things, I guess, Stim toys. So the first thing, some of them you will have seen before, like this squishy spider. Sorry, you can't see, you're too close. Like this squishy spider. Which someone said they really liked the sound of oh wait a second, I like the sound of like eggs, I guess, the spider eggs. These bits. More than the spider, so I thought I would try and take it out of the big spider. Alright, so if we just push and pull. Two separate beings. Oh, the spider makes noise on his own. But then we have this orb of squish. It's pretty gross. It's got a couple of little bits of glitter in there too. I don't know if you can see that, but like there's like the randomest amount of glitter in there. Okay. So, that's my ring. Hear that noise? That's my ring. My ring is one of the things. This is the first, one of the first things I bought actually when I was like, oh, maybe I do need Stim toys because maybe I am autistic. Plot twist, I am. So I was gonna put the spider, show it off. Yeah. Oh, too loud. Yeah, so that was one of the first things that I bought along with like this squishy dragon thing, but I have since absolutely destroyed that. I tore it to pieces, I ripped it up. Yeah, anyway. So, that's that. The next thing I'm going to show you is my ring, because it's been making noises. So this is my ring. It's a spinner ring, and you might be able to see that the inside of the ring has this chain that spins around. So you hold the ring still and you can spin the chain. And it's supposed to stop me from biting and picking at my nails, which, you know, they're pretty short at the moment, but they're much longer than they were, because I had a bout of time where I don't know how, but I was biting my nails, and if I'd have known when, I would have stopped myself from doing that, but I must have been in such a state of panic or angst or whatever that I lost the ability to recognize that I was biting my fingers, and all of the skin around the edges was all gnarly and chewed up, bloody, and the nails were right down to the quick. So I bought more of these. So these are spinner rings, which is supposed to distract I've got two of them, but the other one's a little bit big because I got a size 9 and a size 10 because I couldn't work out what size my fingers were. I think size 9, I don't know. My fingers do tend to swell a lot as well. So sometimes this ring, for example, just doesn't fit me at all. It just won't go on the finger. Anyway, I'm thinking about doing a hand sounds video. Hand sounds with rings on video. Does that sound like a good idea? I think so. I might do it. I might do it after this, actually. Anyway. One other thing that I got early on was this. It's kind of like, it's styrofoam balls all stuck together with green, like slime. But it doesn't really stick to your fingers, it just sticks to itself. Why is it so hard to open? I haven't opened it in a while. So, here it is. Oh, it's stuck to the side. Sorry about that. So this is it. It's a little bit stiff because I haven't used it in a while, but it's great for keeping your hands busy, like in the waiting room of the doctors, for instance, or I don't know, when you have to be in line or something. I just got to turn this on airplane mode so it doesn't buzz us all up. But yeah, it's very good. It makes good sticky sounds. It's warming up now. So cool. How it just does that, it just goes. Sometimes has hanging bits. It's alive. It's not very discreet, I suppose. So if I'm anxious and self-conscious about other people's opinions, which happens in public, I will just spin my spinner ring because it's just like fiddling with jewelry. It's less noticeable or less people condemn it less. Less shame and stigma around that than playing with like kids' toys in public. But I do use this quite often. I have it in my handbag. I keep it in my handbag and just have it with me at all times. Because I can kind of get distracted by it and then time passes more easily. But I kind of have to be doing nothing else at the time. You know, I can't just be like talking to someone and fiddling with this because I have to pay attention to the person. Yeah, but it's great for like, what's that noise? Oh, washing machine. Sorry about the washing machine. We're just gonna deal with that. I can squish it real tight and then it still comes loose. So cool. Alright, so that's that one. I really like this one. I like to pretend I'm turning it inside out, so you put your thumbs behind it and your fingers in front, and then you push with your thumbs. Yeah, it's a cool thing to do. Alright, I'm gonna put that away now. as a kid I would have loved this, but it would have been immediately destroyed by like dirt or chewing on it. I really, oh god, I want to bite it so bad, but I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to bite it. Right, so you squish it into the container, and then we'll put the lid back on so it doesn't dry out. I'll try and quieten those noises down and edit in post, I guess. But yeah, so that's that. I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, cool. So that's three of the things. The next thing I don't love as much as I thought I would love. It's one of these puppets things, where you gotta press in the things, right? And it takes a while. Right, and then on the other side, when you pop it, it makes faux bubble wrap sounds. It's sold as like replicates popping bubble wrap. It doesn't. It's its own thing very much. Feels nothing like bubble wrap. But nevertheless, I do find myself using it. At first I was like, oh, I hate this, I'm never going to use it. But then it's actually kind of cool. I like I wish it popped both ways. It made the sound both ways. That would be better, because you got to press one side with no sound, and then the other side gets a cool sound. Whereas if you pop it back, it doesn't get the cool sound, which is irritating for me. But maybe that's just me being, I don't know, picky, maybe. Alright. We'll do, I don't love this one as much, but I just want to try something. Yeah, that kind of worked, I guess. It's just like trying to make it pop by squishing it. Squishing. I mean, I guess that sounds alright. And then you just pop that. And then that's it. You gotta start again. I don't know, it's kind of irritating. I find it a little bit more annoying. And the sounds are kind of abrupt. But it's great for tapping on and fiddling with. Yeah. So anyway, there's that pockets thing. It gets a bit feely after a while. It's not my favorite texture in the world. So the next thing I got is another one of those things that I wanted to. My psychologist actually passed me one because I was picking my fingers and chewing my hands and fidgeting and destroying, self-harming during the appointment, right, at that therapy. So she handed me one of these and said, here, just hold this. Like, she was like, just try fiddling with that. And so then I would do the rest of the session holding this in my hands, which is like two keychains held together with like bike links and then little rubber bands. I don't know what these are called. But then I didn't bite my shoe. She was like, you haven't bit your nails once since I handed you that. So I then went home and I bought 4 of them. I've got 2 of them here. times. So if I do start to get, like, feel like I need to fiddle with something, like sitting in a car as a passenger, these are great for that, because you just have them in your pocket and you can just be like, oh yeah, it's not, it doesn't absorb my attention. It just gives my fingers something to do. So the green squishy thing is like when you don't want to pay attention to anything else, whereas this is just like you don't even notice you're doing it. It's just there in your hands, and it's a little bit like the ring. I can put it on as a ring if I have to then do something with my hands, but it's a little bit more discreet as well. And the like this, I don't think I would ever use that in public. Or these are at home stems. But this I definitely use in public, but only when I need it. Whereas these come out at the strangest of times, like when having dinner with friends, or watching a movie. I am sure it annoys people because of the sound, but no one's mentioned how annoying it is, so maybe I'm just self-conscious about the sound and they don't even notice. I don't know. But yeah, they're really good. And the last thing that I absolutely love that I only got recently and haven't really used much yet is my tangle. So it's just like these bits of plastic tubing put together with like little joints that allow you to move them around. So that's all you do. You just fiddle with it and it moves in cool ways, you know. Yeah, I've got a weird accent at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't notice at the time, but these are actually the Aboriginal flag colours. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Not that I'm Aboriginal, sadly. I just have worked closely with the Indigenous community here because of archaeology. Yeah. But yeah, so that's a tangle. Another thing that I bought. There's a million sparrows out my window right now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There's like, I don't know, 30 or 40 just little house sparrows out my window. You don't usually see them on this side of the house. They usually stay down the other end. Yeah, they're so cute. Anyway, I like sparrows. Do you like sparrows? Some people hate sparrows. I don't understand these people. Yeah, so the other thing that I bought because I'm autistic that hasn't arrived yet, which is annoying. I'm sure it'll come. It's just got to get here from Germany and COVID and all of that. I just need to be more patient. But loop earplugs, noise cancelling earplugs from Loop. So I think that's where they're coming from anyway. But they're on their way. The tracking says they're coming. So hopefully, yeah. So I got that for reasons when, like, maybe if I'm in the mall. I know the lights and the sounds are a lot in the mall and I often get headaches and stuff. The other day I wore my sunglasses into the mall and like people do look at you funny, but nobody said anything and everyone was just as polite as usual. So I think I'm going to start wearing my sunglasses in the mall, just to reduce some of the stimulation. I don't go into the mall often. Oh, off they go. Oh, they all flew away. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to those earphones because they're supposed to dull like most of the noise, but then still have like you'll still be able to hear what people are saying, but it won't be as distracted, I think, is the thing. So yeah. What else have I done since becoming autistic? I've always been autistic. I just didn't know about it. One thing I will say is that I see a lot of these things being talked about, like when somebody says, "Oh, you don't look autistic," and like that's like a terrible thing to say to an autistic person, to say to anyone. It's very like ableist, I guess. But I've never got that. Like when I've started talking to people, and my friends and family, not one of them have been like, I don't know if it's just because I have a good support system or because I'm like really autistic, but no one's been like, oh, that doesn't sit right, that doesn't suit you, I don't think you're autistic. So that's been really good. I don't know if that just means that everybody's known there's been something up with me for quite some time because they've had, anxiety disorder diagnoses and whatnot. But yeah, even my cousin the other day was like, not much of a plot twist, is it? Like, yeah, that makes sense. I was like, oh, okay, well, it was a shock to me. Not really to anyone else, apparently. It did surprise my mum a little bit. My mum was a little bit more surprised. Completely accepting and loving and wonderful, but yeah, just a little bit like, I don't know, she doesn't love labels at the best of times, so she was just a bit shocked, I think. Yeah. So okay, what I think that's I thought I had something else to say about how I was feeling with my autism, but I can't remember it. How is the background, by the way, just real quick? Sorry about this blank door here. The turtle over there used to be on this door, but it used to just fly off. And also my lion used to be there, but he fell off a few times. So I've left it so things don't fall off the door, and now there's just this big blank door. But if I stand over here, it's awkward. So sorry about that. Also, I've changed everything. So my art, I guess my office, like my art space and my filming space, are now separate to my sleeping space. I used to sleep just over there on that side of this room, but now I sleep in a bedroom, the next bedroom over, because we had a spare room. So I'm going to put the spare beds in the office and then separate my work, which is this, and my sleeping arrangement, like my bedroom. So I've got my clothes and my bed in a separate room, which is now my bedroom, and then this, which is now like an art room. So that hopefully will be great for my mental health, and my ability to sleep. It's going to change my life. It's going to be the cure. Not for autism, just for me feeling bad. I can see the flame robin out the window. It's like a little red. It's a little red bird. A little bird with a red belly. He's real cute. The boys have the red and the girls are just like the same but without the red. Yeah, there's also tiny little birds that have yellow bellies that often hang out with the flame robins, which is really cool. I think they're a type of finch. I used to know them. I looked it up. So here's the thing that I would like to say about autism. Like, a lot of people have special interests. A lot of autistic people have special interests, and I definitely have a special interest in things, such as The Sims and birds, and I'm sure there are more. I don't know what they are. But so probably ASMR, let's be honest. So other autistic people, I have noticed, tend to know a lot of things about their special interest. Like, they will know what type of bird it is, all of them. Like, I know some birds, but I don't know all the birds, and I know some words associated with some birds, but like, I didn't know that a mallard duck, I don't know what the word mallard means. Like, is it a type of duck? Is it a gender of duck? I don't know, but I know that word is associated with ducks. I know half facts, and I forget things, and I know that I used to know things, and it's so irritating because people want to talk to you about the cool thing that you know lots about, but I don't know anything about anything. I forget everything. I just don't know. superpower is knowing everything about accounting or whatever it is that they're special interested in. And I'm like, I like to look at pretty birds. I've played Sims since the year 2001. If that's when it was released. Like, I've been playing Sims for 20 years. I know nothing. I don't know how to mod. I don't use mods. I don't use custom content. I mean, I've used mods and custom content like once or twice, but it's too complicated. I'm like, well, this is not what I enjoy about The Sims. I like creating stories and people, and then just letting them ruin their own plots. Really, I like keeping one Sim alive for a really long time, and then having all of their children die of old age, like one Immortal Sim. I seem to play that storyline a lot, but that doesn't mean I know anything about it. Like, I don't know any facts. I'm not good at trivia. I'm bad at trivia. I'm like, oh, I know this, and then for like 45 minutes try and remember what I knew, and I can't remember it, and then they'll say the answer, and I'll either be like, oh, why couldn't I remember that, or I'll be like, no, I didn't know that. I lied to you. I've been lying to you for the last 45 minutes. That's not something I knew. So, I don't know. It feels like I'm kind of lacking on the superhero part, the superpower part of the autism spectrum. So that's kind of boring. Yeah. Anyway, this video is getting long. I'm gonna stop now. Yeah. I might do a hand sound